Mm, You get that, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, call me the moment you get that, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby. Maybe I should do it in Aretha Franklin's higher tone. Call me the moment you get there. I can't do Aretha. Shout out to the Queen of Soul. Baby, won't you call me the moment you get there? Yeah, yeah. Oh, baby. Boom, boom, boom. Whew. I know y'all finished lunch. I finished my little brunch a little while ago, so I want to go in and get a couple of videos to y'all. This first one is something that happened recently. I want to make sure I write them all down. This is the Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway, head basketball coach of Memphis, Tennessee, University of Memphis. He had a press conference a while back, but I want to make sure that I write down all of my thoughts, all the topics I want to talk about with y'all today. And I think it's this one. What's the next one I want to talk about? See this? Oh yeah, the voting rights bill, and what I forget the old Republican's name, what he said, but I'll have it when I do the video on that. But just in case, if you haven't checked it out yet, I'm halfway through it, and I've already determined that it's a damn good interview. Antonio Brown is on I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall. I don't know how many of you have ever watched his podcast. It's actually pretty interesting. He's a retired football player, and he talks to other football players and as well as other people. It's not just relegated to former football players, but all types of athletes and movers and shakers in I guess Hollywood or in society in general. And if you want a little bit about Brandon Marshall, I don't know his sports stuff. I just knew he played football. But as far as what got him on my radar as a person is that his whole advocacy for mental health. I think bipolar disorder is being a leading. Being the main thing that he started his foundation on, and bipolar disorder and other mood disorders. So shout out to Brandon Marshall. Shout out Brandon having this particular platform where athletes can come, particularly professional football players, retired or what have you, can come on and talk about real issues that impact them and affect them. So speaking of athletes, again, Penny Marshall, Anthony Hardaway, Penny Hardaway, yeah, who went to the University of Memphis, killed him, went to the league for 15 years, killed him. I remember him being with the Orlando Magic, and then, and after a while, my mind is off of sports. I'm not a sports dude, but I am interested in the human beings who are involved in sports, and I deal with the behaviors in society. And so this for me is more of a human opinion, more of a human piece, a behavior piece, because I don't know any stats about any sports and crap like that. But I know he's won the past 3 years, and this fourth year, it's a bit of struggling that's going on, and so it led him to have a particular response to the media there in my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, which is not always they're not very, I'll just say, the media in Memphis is not very cosmopolitan. They're not big league, but they try to get their little questions on and try to report the news. But the script is the same wherever the news is. It is diluted and remixed. If you watched the video that's all over social media, or if you're there, you saw the live press conference with Anthony Penny Hardaway, the winning head coach of the University of Memphis Tigers basketball team. and they posed a question to him about his team, and they're not winning as much, and well, implied all of that. I guess they had a 9-8. Well, as of recently, they just beat Tulsa, so they have a 10-8 record. And the young men played really well, and they played very aggressive. I watched some of the game just to see what this reporter in Memphis, the sports reporter, was trying to say. But anyway, Penny Hardaway let it be known, like, hey, you're gonna ask me this question about do I still think I can do it? Be a coach? Just it's a terrible question, very insulting, and I think Penny Hardaway responded very appropriately. He said, y'all got me so fucked up around here. Now, y'all know that my team is either out injury, or this is what was said, but he said, you know what's going on with my players. So I'm having to play freshmen, 4 freshmen, and they're playing juniors and seniors on those other teams. And quite frankly, they're doing really well for them to be freshmen. I mean, they were just in the 12th grade. Now they're in college playing and not just any college. University of Memphis is considered to be in a pretty competitive division, or pretty tough division. And you have these freshman young men come out of these high schools, last year or a year and a half ago, and they're already playing against some of these big schools, and they're winning. They won 10 games. They lost 8, but it's okay. And he reminded them, and he said, y'all know what's going on. But so to ask me with that, don't ask me no stupid fucking questions. And he was right. And I went and read some of the responses, a lot of what people had. There were people saying, you know what, that's right, that's cool. And then there were those, I've never been a sports person because I can't stand sports people. And let me keep it more specific. I can't stand sports black men. Because for me, sports is like a distraction or a hiding place for black men in America. Instead of standing up and being men and fighting this power. Malcolm did with Dr. King, Medgar Evers. Black men retreat to sports. Because then you can act as big, as bad, and talk all this shit you want to in sports, but you don't want none of this smoke out here when it comes to the real racism and white supremacy. You don't want that. And so I'm a human behavior. I'm a behavior guy. I check out behavior. And that's why I learned about black men over the years. They can't talk about anything else. 2 things that black men have been conditioned and socially conditioned to do. They only want to talk about pussy and sports. That's it. You can't get a decent conversation out of a lot of black men when it comes to the negative political impact on black people racially in this country. You can't get a full conversation, man. I won't talk about that shit. But they'll talk all day long about how much LeBron James makes, how many points he scored and all this. And that's done, I think it's deliberate. Black men have literally been punked out. So their safe space in the barbershop or anywhere on the corner is to talk about sports, football, basketball, and also be as abrasive and disrespectful to the players as the white commentators, as the white sports analysts are. Shout out to Kwame Brown. That's black men. Well, he shouldn't have said that. He messing his money. He could possibly mess his money up. He's not being a good role model for young black men. Before I give a response to that, I want to say also, what's up, E. Donaldson? Greg Hume was good. Stephen A. Smith came out and said this. I'm paraphrasing. Man, you a black man in that position. You can't afford to lose your cool. You's gonna get fired. You can't be like them white men. You can't express your real feelings because you is a black man. You a head coach. You supposed to be setting an example. That's what Stephen A. Smith said. But then, as I continue to read comments, and I started thinking, because a lot of black men don't understand history, nor I don't think they're interested in history. Well, to understand history makes you intelligent today. You can't do anything new on people like me because we go back, we understand history. Now, if it was, hold on a minute, this is Antonio Brown interview. Now, if I were to talk about stats from 20 years ago, oh, you'll remember that. But we seem to forget that before black men were allowed to play into sports, white men were doing their thing. I mean, in American sports, until they started buying up the Negro leagues and American Basketball Association. They had the black basketball players and baseball players, Negro leagues, but I don't know if they had a black football league already, but I know they had baseball and basketball. But we forget this part about being a man and humanity. We've been taught so long that, you know what, you get in there, you act right, you don't get them people no problems, and you keep your job, or you keep your money going. And we have the so-called toughest, meanest Negroes who act like this. But then they'll get in your face as a fellow black man and act like they're the baddest mother lovers ever walked the god doggone planet. But get around white folks, I know I'm 6'5", 280, but I'm just an old pussycat. Please pay me in 2 weeks. Yeah, I said it. Because that's what it is. It's time out for black men having to act like bitches when every other man can be a man. See, let me take this even further. Serena Williams was catching, I'm going to tennis. Serena Williams was catching flack for telling the referee, hey, that was a wrong call. Are you out of your mind? What you doing? And the whole world, all white media and even some black folks were like, oh, she need to calm down. Why she arguing with those refs? Why she getting into it with them like that? Why she doing that? But we forget a person by the name of John McEnroe who broke tennis rackets on the court. Are you stupid? Have you lost your mind? What are you doing? See, they get to be as emotional. The white athletes get to be as well-rounded human beings as they're allowed to be. The white men get to be men. But black men, I don't care what position, head coach in the NBA, college, high school, they still have to act like bitches. Bow down and show white America that as a harmless Negro, I ain't got nothing to say. But please me, I got to say this now. I got to say this. Please forgive me, but please don't say that. Okay, I promise I's do better. That's why they want black men. So you have black men like Antonio Brown who say, "Fuck y'all, keep this." Of course, y'all have heard by now what was actually said, the reason he reacted the way he did. Well, if not, check out the I Am Athlete podcast with Brandon Marshall. Goes through it all, if you haven't heard it already. We hear a lot of people speculating, but he's telling it on this particular podcast, I Am Athlete with Brandon Marshall, with Antonio Brown. See, it's very interesting that we haven't learned from history yet how they brand black men who dare not to toe the line or follow up and wear tight ass suits and squeak out voices. Well, let me tell you. Well, the thing is, it's not necessary to go there. We can talk this out. We can be intelligent. It's just time out for that. Yeah, Ernest said, man, you saying it this morning. Many, if not most athletes have not researched Bill Russell and Jimmy Brown. Jim Brown. Yes, Ernest, it's something that's going on with these new Negroes today. And Anthony Hardaway is from Memphis. And, there's a particular swagger that comes with all of us who actually grew up in North Memphis, South Memphis, Whitehaven. And then the new Hickory Hood. There's a particular swagger. He said, y'all got me fucked up in this mirror. I said, there it is. See, you have really gone too far when you have the head basketball coach come at y'all like this. But wait a minute. Y'all remember all these white college coaches that were allowed to act a fool? Cuss, talk crazy, throw furniture. And I was listening to Kwame Brown was saying, he helped me remember a coach by the name of Bobby Knight. Y'all remember him? He got famous for being a fool. Cussing, talking crazy, snatching on players. Of course, they were black. And then let me tell y'all something about y'all sending y'all black boys to these white colleges. Stop telling them to act like bitches so that you think they can get inside get on a team. Stop asking them to put their integrity and their manhood on the line so some white man can teach them how to play basketball. And so that means that white man get to talk to them like a slave and a dog, snatching on them and pulling on them and smacking them in the head. Why do y'all allow that? Why y'all allow y'all sons to be talk shit to when they get to these so-called Division I, II, I don't know, these big white schools? He gets treated like a zoo animal just because your fingers are crossed. You hoping that he'll give him some playing time and my boys will make it to the NBA. My son gonna make it to the NFL. But by the time your son get there, he ain't gonna have no guts. He gonna be a bitch. He's gonna be a robot. And you see the behavior of a lot of these NFL players. When something comes up, these NBA players, when something comes up that matters to our people, they're silent. Because they were already taken through the ritual of deballing them, and you allowed it. Let me see. Hold on, North Memphis. He said, y'all trying to make stuff about black and white. Penny did a bad job despite his color. They are not losing because... They are not losing because he can't coach. They are not losing. Nope. I never said North Memphis. I'm from North Memphis. What part you from? I'm out of Hollywood and Springdale. You hear me? Perry's Goodwill Village. So he said, North Memphis says, y'all always trying to make stuff of black and white. Penny doing a bad job despite his color. They are not losing because he's black. They are losing because he can't coach. Wait, first of all, Hyde Park, yeah. Around the corner, across the street from Night and Day. Same here. So we're from the same neighborhood, but obviously we have a different point of view on things. And I think I need you to continue to listen to this North Memphis veteran, my brother. See, and you're one of those, it ain't about race. Well, it's always about race. Look how they treated Larry Finch like shit, but kissed Dana Kirk's ass, if you remember that, and kissed Calipari's ass, and they were losing. And you can go in, if you're a big sports aficionado, Tony Romo played like shit for 12 years, and they never talked crazy to him, never asked him stupid questions about his quarterbacking ability or none of that. But Penny Hardaway's been winning for 3 seasons, and he just won against Tulsa. And he's playing with 4 freshmen. You live there. You ought to know this. But then you want to see, I'm talking to you about history. I just said before you came on, when we don't look at history, we don't understand what they're doing to us right now. And see, also, if you never heard of the scholars that taught us about racism and white supremacy, everything is about black and white. Why you think Hyde Park looks like shit with your black representative, but in Hollywood and Springdale looks like shit. But Bartlett, Germantown, and the deep part of Cordova look like a palace because they have white representation there and you got a bunch of Negroes where you are. It's black and white. So please, sir, don't play that game with a veteran. I studied. I'm from Hollywood. I'm from North Memphis. I know Memphis politics, I know Memphis racism, and I also know black ignorance in Memphis. So, respectfully, brother, we just gonna have to disagree on that. He's not a bad coach. He took him to the state forever at East High School when he was a coach there. He made University of Memphis. He's winning with freshman players. I'm not even into sports and I see this. So how can you come over here and say that, bro? That's just disingenuous. I just said before you came on, Mr. North Memphis, that black men bury their heads into this structure called sports, but when it's time to speak as men about what's really going on, you hide behind that. Those were kids and he's not winning, he's losing. Why do you keep saying that? He is winning. He is winning. He just won against Tulsa. They're 10-8. He is winning. But see, the thing is, you're viewing this brother through the eyes of the white supremacists. See, again, you missed what I said. The white boys can lose and lose and lose and still don't get harassed the way he do. It makes it even worse black folks get in on the harassment train. Penny Hardaway is doing a great job. Again, I'm not into sports, but I'm not blind. He's doing a great job. And you stop calling these 18-year-olds kids. They're young men. They're not kids. They're young men. And he's teaching them, but give him 2 more years with those freshmen, he's gonna be killing them. But one issue I had with Penny Hardaway, he should not have taken that lowball salary. He should have charged their ass to University of Memphis, just like them white boys who came through there and left, did a bunch of crooked, dirty underhand shit. We're going back to Dana Kirk and working our way up. He did all that shit. And they still got their money. But Penny said, oh man, I'm just coming back. I love my city. I love the kids. I appreciated that, Penny. But you should have hit the motherfuckers for University of Memphis for $50 million for 2 years. Or 75 for 3 years. And then they're going to talk shit to you. At least you got your money. But see, they think a black man's supposed to be championship every damn year. And they let them white coaches do what the fuck they want to do. And that's what's going on. That's terrible. Hold on a second. When you say they just had a white coach and he got fired, remember Josh? I don't know who the fuck that is. And I don't care. He had 10-8 is winning. He ain't been kicked out of nothing. He ain't got last 3. We said Penny ain't got 3 if he don't win some games. Man, just shut up. Because see, this is where your concentration is. Penny, in my opinion, should have never gone there. He should have gone back straight to the NBA and left him there. However, because those of you small-minded sports person don't see the big picture. He ain't got that. So what? Even if he's not at University of Memphis, he's going to be picked up somewhere else and going to be respected somewhere else, and he's going to take the championship there. Memphis has always been so small-minded and this just pea-brain when it comes to this shit. And y'all get off that dude. I'll say it. I'm not into sports. But Penny Hardaway is fucking awesome. And I don't even know him personally. But I can say I like the way he's carried himself. And he spoke the truth. See, what you didn't hear, if you listen to that press conference, North Memphis, he told them about the shenanigans that they love to pull. He said, y'all know this. Y'all know I'm playing 4 freshmen. Y'all know that a lot of my guys are sick. A lot of them are hurt or got COVID. Y'all know this. But then y'all gonna come to me and say, well, do you think you still can do it? See, that's called being disingenuous and playing and pulling shenanigans, North Memphis. Come bring your level of understanding up to mine, brother, so we can have a real conversation. Because it's not about sports. It's about trying to curtail and disrespect another black man when they don't shit on the white coaches the same way. They give them every pass and leeway. Matter of fact, what he said was, now, if I had what the others had, then we'll be winning. Because when he had what the others had, he was winning. Now his boys are sick. But the thing is, come on, man. I'm done, bro. You want to beat up on him because you don't know any better. And I'm talking to you about a much deeper conversation. You still looking at that. It's not always about whether he's winning or losing. Because we've had black men, black coaches win all the time and somehow they still get fired. And you ain't never paid attention to that, or you so busy viewing black men or black coaches in the eyes of the white supremacists. Again, I'm not into sports. I'm not ignorant enough to know. First of all, I'm black. I'm assuming you're black. I'm not a racist. You're ignorant. Look, it's always people like you trying to call a fellow black man racist. You don't even know what racist is. You're just throwing out words. See, if you can't defeat facts, now you're projecting. No, you a hater. You still arguing that same sorry Negro song. Okay, I'm over. Because you out of Hyde Park. I don't expect much out of you. But what'd you say, Ernest? Many of you, most of you, new Negroes are not critical analytical thinkers about anything that is historically racial. And so, yeah, Ernie, I moved on from him. You can continue to comment, brother. I moved on from North Memphis. He started off wrong. He has no interest in seeing for what it is. Even when this season is over. If he decides not to go back, I couldn't care less. And so, but I appreciate that exercise though, North Memphis. Lets me know that Memphis is not the way it is by accident. Because you can clearly see when he came on, he was celebrated. And this man got one season that struggled. All of a sudden, let's throw him away. Let's talk bad about him. This is the time he should be supporting the brother. It's not like he got paid $50 million. That man took a pay cut because he said, and I read some of his stuff, I want to give back. I love my city, and I want to know, and I want to help these young men. You forgot about that, didn't you, North Memphis? He took a pay cut, and this is how you treat this brother? This is how you respond about him? That's what I'm saying. Man, fuck that. Forget Memphis, man. These people are a joke there. And that white school don't give a shit about Penny Hardaway. That's why I was reluctant. I'm like, dude, don't go there. You're bigger than that. Take a bigger office somewhere else where they'll respect you. Because Memphis is small time. There's small time and everything. That's why the city is where it is. Because we got a lot of small-minded blacks and a bunch of racist, small-minded hunkies except when it comes to them. See? Look what he said. This man said he took a cut because he knew he wasn't worth it. Come on, man. You out of it, bro. So anyway, go roll a blunt or something, man. Go on back to what you're doing. So, but anyway, respectfully. Because you can't be speaking intelligence saying these weird things about this man who actually, because he didn't have to. It's not like he needed the money. You could have said he took a pay cut because he needed money. Me and you and I would have been on here on the same page. But to say that he took a pay cut because he knew he wasn't worth it, now you're being disingenuous. You're being extremely disrespectful to a man who took his time to give back. He was already giving back beautifully to the kids when he was his coach at East High School. He just took that same energy of giving back when he went to this corporation called University of Memphis. And I wrote an article. Go to my page. Which one did I write it on? Rico the Opinionist blog, my blog. You know. No, you said, let me tell you what you said. You see how you're supposed to be so for the black people, but because I don't agree with you, because, let me see, I gotta be stupid and smoking blunts. No, let's go back to who did what. Don't play that game with me, brother. Because you said, Rico, I'm not a racist like you. Because I didn't agree with you, you called me a racist. Don't play that. We're not going to do that, bro. You talking to a real one. I'm out of Hollywood, Springdale, Purees, all of that. Night and Day, Springdale. I'm from all that. So we're talking to each other here. Don't do that, man. You can't, you're out of your league here, bro. I read what you said. You attacked me first. You called me a racist. And then I guess after a while we realized, and I waited to see if you're going to get some sense. But you continue dumb down on your dumbness. So I had no other choice but to think there had to be some type of outside influence that was debilitating your ability to use logic. So for the most part, it's no secret that a lot of people smoke blunts. And then they try to use wisdom while they're under the influence. So yes, I made an assumption. After the fact, based on assessing your behavior on here. And so it had to be, go back and roll a blunt. No, don't tell me why you called me one. You called me one because I didn't agree with you. So don't play that either, brother. Look, man, I'm light years ahead of you when it comes to this. So what? What you worried about me saying crack and hunky? You probably say the N-word all day long. See this? I can't do it, bro. But thanks, man. I thank you for trying. See, when a black person calls another black people racist, I'm done. It means you have no clue what we're talking about. None whatsoever. Yeah, I'm moving on, Ernest, because he ain't even trying. So as I was saying, we act like we forgot people like Bobby Knight and others who are allowed to be full men. See, this is bigger than sports for me. This is about the black male image. And if we as black men don't stand up and protect that image in all forms of life, But but a lot of us don't know, because a lot of us was raised by, under the matriarchy, where men aren't really valued when you're raised by a bunch of women. And we're raised under the system of matriarchy. So my point is, Penny Hardaway spoke just like any one of us probably would have, regardless. Because Penny Hardaway doesn't need the money. He was strictly giving back. And the disrespect is real. You're going to ask him, so you don't think you have the ability to win? And he told them what it was. But see, when you don't have that, thank you, Ernest, that analytical and that critical thinking, if you don't understand racism, white supremacy, its purpose, its agenda, everything else will only confuse you. Shout out to Dr. Francis Christ Welsing. Shout out to Brother Neely Fuller. We don't understand those concepts. See, you'll be thinking that it's just about sports. It's not about sports. We have a history of black men doing everything right, but still, they don't want black boys to see black men be strong. Now, if he had said what he said and stuck to it, those young men would have been still just as proud of him than even right now. See, he apologized, not because the student said apologize. He apologized because it was a corporate move. They told him, hey, brother, who's that? Finesse Rice, good afternoon. Is that Finesse Rice? What's up? He apologized because grown people, that wasn't a good look, brother. No, it's not a good look. You have those young men. Stephen Ass Smith, he gonna come out there and say, as a black man, you shouldn't be out, you can't lose your cool. He didn't lose his cool. He was very calm. He told those lame ass reporters in that little press conference, y'all got me so fucked up. Stop asking me stupid fucking questions. You got the season not going your way already, and then they want to play these games. No one would see. I think y'all ain't paying attention. A lot of people aren't paying attention. I think what upset Penny Hardaway is that you're going to ask me this question when you know exactly what's going on with the program. The guys are out hurt, probably got COVID, and I'm playing these 4 freshmen. And by the way, care what anyone says, I think those freshman guys are doing a good job. Finesse said, I think they expect too much of him because of what Penny was to Memphis. That could be too. They tend to put over expectations on black male coaches. I'm sure they want him to put on a cape and flash. But no, I've been saying, don't give him any special favors. Just give him the same courtesy, benefit of the doubt, the way they've done the white coaches in the past. That's all. So much so that Dana Kirk went out in history, and Calipari went off, did some unethical things before he left the University of Memphis, left with a serious bag. And Penny Hardaway is more than qualified to be the coach of that daggum school. And he's done a good job. That's right. She said he was fed up. That's right. Because, see, we don't know exactly behind the scenes how they coming at him. Because we're not viewing him as a human being, but just a man. All right, you got the job. I need you to pull it off. Pull it off, brother. And he's been pulling it off. Because that program was kind of suffering a little bit, but he brought more fanfare. He brought more spark. He brought new fans. He brought a lot of stuff to that team. Then you got these silly people out here saying, well, he losing. He need to, no, don't do that. Because that man been winning for the past 3 years. And due to the hurt and the COVID, he hadn't played freshmen. And those freshmen are doing a good job. They are. And again, I'm not into the sports. I look at behavior. And I look at how people approach things. And Penny Hardaway is not your personal work mule. And I go back to black men in sports. See, a lot of black men retreat to sports because it's easy to sit around behind your computer screen and criticize these coaches and these black athletes like they're not human beings, because you didn't make it as an athlete. You were a failed football player. You were a failed basketball player. So you do 2 things. You emotionally traumatize your sons, or even try to push your daughters into sports, you failed athletes. Or you talk crazy about and talk crazy to the black athletes, the professional athletes, black men who are out there working because their physical ability got them there. And that's not cool. Give them the same human benefit of the doubt that like anybody else, like the man who throws the mail, or the high school teacher, or what have you. Give them the same benefit of the doubt. Give him a minute. He should be given 5, 6, 7 years like they give everybody else. And him playing these freshmen, and he playing these freshmen. Guess what? In a couple of years, those freshmen are gonna be awesome. But Chris says, I have a question, my dear friend. Okay. Oh, Chris said, I have a question. When people say ignorant Memphis mentally, are you speaking of all or just that from? Okay, hold on a second. Let's see. Yeah, he apologized, Patricia. He shouldn't have, but it was the politically correct thing to do, Patricia. Chris says, he said, let's see. Chris, I'm going to read your question. He says, I have a question, my dear friend. When you say ignorant people, ignorant Memphis mentally, are you speaking of all that, wait a minute. Are you speaking of all that from a, or decided to stay and make things better? I'm not ignorant. Neither are the people I'm around. I'm just curious. I'm speaking of Memphis as I'm speaking of it. Let me say this, Chris. There's an exception to everything that's ever said. So I guess if it doesn't apply, let it fly. However, I grew up in Memphis and I watched the politics. And I've been around people all my life in my hometown, and I'm looking at the state of the city right now. There's a lot of ignorant people there. That's one of the reasons I got the hell out of there. I got tired of fighting, almost like on my own. During the time where there was a good time in the late 90s, early 2000s, I said, these people, they like living on the plantation because a lot of them are plantation minded. And then they vote for the same people who keep them in the dirt. They call them Democrats. And so I know there were a lot of people like myself and probably you and a few others who were trying to make it better. But Chris, it's like trying to hike up a snowy mountain in flip-flops when you're trying to make a change in our city. But I do notice that there's a wave that's coming and that's been coming around, and people are trying to do the best they can, but the masses of people still are afraid. That's what I'm talking about. And nothing has really changed. And let's see, Patricia Rogers is watching. Let's focus on winning. Look, okay. At least I understand now, my brother. At least I understand now. Okay, right on, Chris. And I know when I say that, I don't want this swing that I take to accidentally hit the wrong people, because some of those folks may or may not be on my page, but yeah, it gets frustrating, and talking to that cat just took me back 20 years. That mindset that got on my damn nerves. We need and all the statistics that say about the high illiteracy rate and everything else. It just brought it all back. It's like you triggered trauma in me, because that's how how deep I was in my hometown, or trying to convince and encourage and even physically get out there and show people we can be different. Memphis is awesome. We can make it. But when you have the masses of people who like wallowing around in a pig's trough, there's no need. It's almost like you're wasting your water hose and your soap. You dig? I'm sorry. You said University of Memphis, your alma mater. I'm sorry to hear that, but I guess we all had to go somewhere. Shout out to Lamar and on. But Penny Hardaway's gonna be all right, and I think he's gonna he's going to pull out of this once his players get better. But see, and my whole thing about this was I'm saying that Penny Hardaway, in my opinion, should not have apologized. But I understand, because there's a lot of grown people in his ear telling him, well, this would be better if you do this, that. Because I'm telling you, if he had not apologized, his players were like, that's right. Get them folks. Because they know what's going on too. Um, you know, I'm sure his team, his young team players would have supported him had he not apologized. Matter of fact, had he not apologized, that would have really empowered them more as young men growing up. He would have taught them about standing on their conviction, not backing down. He would have taught them. But again, that old narrative, well, you can't offend them now because they got you here. So what that was, Stephen A. Smith suggested that he be under their training. And I know a lot of people do this on smaller scales. They do it on smaller scales. They just work regular jobs. They get disrespected on the job and they like, I just kept my head down and went on. But then what about your mental health? You know you've been done dirty. You got to carry that anger and that disrespect with you instead of letting it flow out of you at that time. And a lot of men and women suffer disrespect on jobs daily. But then they come home or come home and then they come home and drink or argue with friends or beat up family members. Patricia says Penny has young children looking up to him. He did the right thing. Well, that's all opinion. And they also have rappers. They look up to rappers too, but no one's telling them to do the right thing. So please, I'm over all these role models because Penny does not have as many young people looking up to him as Young Dolph, as Pooh Shiesty, as Yo Gotti, as Black Youngster. He does not. He got and so they understand, and if they're from where he from, they understand. If he didn't, when he said what he said, that resonated with those young people. Y'all got me fucked up out here. Y'all know what's going on. I got 4 freshmen, and we doing the best we can. Just let me. If I had what other folks had, if I had what other folks had, we can't keep putting this big role model stuff on black men who work for white folks. We can't keep doing that. Let him be a man where he is, and so black boys can see how men behave. Him speaking his mind is not dissuading young people from wanting to grow up and be strong. Matter of fact, it empowers them. Because they already not listening to grown folks anyway. So in a lot of these black boys, and particularly in all the urban cities, but we're going to say Memphis, they don't have fathers. For him to stand up and say that empowered those young boys. Like, that's right, you got me fucked up. That's right. Yeah, you have a good day too, please, Patricia. Yeah, I know you didn't like that, but it is what it is. You're welcome to my page. You're more than welcome to come back. And so, yeah, that empowered them. And I'm glad he said it like that. So, and I understand why he apologized. It's a corporate political move. But I know he's like, yeah, I'm glad he got to say it. And I hope all people took it as what it was. Them playing games with him. Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. Ooh, Ernie, what you say, bro? Man, I'm 70 years old and I'm not suffering from black rage. I'm exalting in it. Malcolm told me, HBS showed me, and I'm a product of 1968. That's right. Okay, so on that whole deal there, and there's nothing wrong, and I hope they don't label him as angry, because he wasn't angry. He was very calm. He did a great job. He did a good job, and he came back and apologized. He said, I love Memphis. I love you. And that's right. I'm not saying everybody should blow up and do all of that. And I get all of that. But I need us to understand, when are we going to allow black men to be men? Because America allows every other man to be a man. So when are black men going to be allowed to be black men and we accept it? But however, I'm here. If anybody like to come on and ask me a question, or you want to rebut what I said, I don't mind. Just push that little red or green dot and come on in. Let's talk about it. I got a minute. In the words of Moneybag Yo, I looked at my watch. I got time today. So if you want to come in and rebut, you want to talk about the Penny Hardaway situation, I'm ready to hear your thoughts. I don't argue. I exchange thoughts. So if you plan to argue, don't do that because I'll send your ass on. But if you want to just share your thoughts, I'll share mine. We'll have what's called a conversation because I don't do that arguing, that foolishness. I just do not. But if you want to come on and say, hey, Rico, this is what I thought. Oh, Rico, what do you really mean by that? North Memphis, where you at, man? Come on. Yeah, but Nick Cannon, what's up, Wayne Bradley? He said Nick Cannon, the same with Nick Cannon, he had to apologize. Well, Nick Cannon didn't have to. Nick Cannon is a multimillionaire. Nick Cannon owns properties. He owns shows. But what the Nick Cannon thing was, Nick Cannon, his situation showed us how black men really aren't powerful in Hollywood is one thing. They all have to answer to a white or Jewish zaddy. And I lost all respect for him. Not only when he apologized, but he allowed them to pull his pants down and put him on parade, talking about some damn Jewish history. And let's go back. Nick Cannon was doing just fine on his show if he had just allowed Professor Griff to do all the talking. See, Nick Cannon fell for a lot of black people saying that he wasn't black or he was corny. He fell for that foolishness. Nick Cannon was employing black people. He was helping people out. So I'm not that stickler for, hey, he got to be black, he got to be militant. Nobody's that damn stupid. Nobody's that closed-minded. See, I understand how we all help each other, how we work. But Nick Cannon's fall came from him listening to these particular small group of black folks, like they say with Terrence J. Terrence J worked at BET. Well, he ain't black enough. He ain't this. If you're not, it's like if you're not acting hood or breaking your English or we got tattoos all over you and you don't look like the streets. It's like there's a particular segment of black America tell you you're not black. But see, you can't tell somebody like me that I'm not black because I went to college, because I speak pretty decent English and my thinking is not hood rap, that I'm not black because I learned what black is. Shout out to Dr. John Henry Clark. Shout out to Brother Neely Fuller. Shout out to Dr. Amos Wilson. Shout out to Ivan Van Sertima that came before Columbus. Shout out to Dr. Joy Leary. See, I learned what black was. Shout out to Frederick Douglass, Booker T. Washington. I learned what black was. This mess that they think is black, this broken English, low IQ, poor behavior, bad behavior, ratchet existence, that's not black. That's a result of a colonized mind. Come on, somebody. So forgive me, if I don't fit. And Nick Cannon had always been a clean-cut, decent young man. But he messed around and started listening to that quote-unquote, the dark side of blackness. And that's what took him down. He know damn well. Nick Cannon, for people to understand, when I say look at history, Nick Cannon had been dealing with Jews and white folks since he was 16, 17 years old. He was a writer or something with Nickelodeon as a kid. Nick Cannon understood that. But maybe he was just trying to break free and it backfired. He should have stuck what he was doing. His people, he was benefiting, black people benefiting, and nobody had nothing to say except for he ain't black enough. When does that ever hurt anybody? I don't know. Hell, I went to college and when I came home in North Memphis, they said, man, you sound like them white folks down there. And I quickly was like, how the hell do I sound like them white folks? And I went to a historically black college, a university. Shout out to Grambling State University. But again, if anybody like to come on, hey, push that little green button or red button, whatever that is, and let's come on and talk, ask me something. Or disagree. I don't mind. Because I meant what I said in my Penny Hardaway comments. I meant what I said. Because, and by the way, we all have, opinions are like AHs. We all have one. And I just come on here and I just share my opinions, my thoughts. Got it? So anybody want to come on? If not, I can go ahead and end this. I thank those of you who passed through, came through, gave your thoughts. I appreciate it. And please charge it to my head, man, and not to my heart, because I get passionate about it. And my goal is not to cut anybody off or and all of that. Well, hell, nobody's called in. Nobody's called in for me to cut them off. But I don't do that. I really don't. I hear what you have to say because I need you to hear what you're saying as well. And but anyway, I'm gone. I'll be back in a few minutes. I have another opinion about voting. Wayne Bradley says, I got to the show late. What did Penny do? You can Google it, Wayne Bradley. Penny Hardaway apologizes, or Penny Hardaway goes off on, or say Penny Hardaway's comments to media. They're both on there. So just go ahead, man, and just look at it. The story is probably like 3 or 4 days old or something like that, but I know it's still kind of new in a lot of minds of people. Just go ahead and Google it, brother. You go on YouTube, all the bloggers are talking about it. And I think Kwame Brown's talking about it, Carcino, folks like that. They're all talking about it. So, all right, well, if nobody wants to come on and chat, I will talk to you in the future. Be cool, Rico the Opinionist. That is my YouTube channel. That is my Twitter handle. That is my Instagram, Rico the Opinionist. Hit your boy on the Cash App. If you're cool with me, fool with me. Shout out to Raider J. All right, peace, y'all. I'm out.